All right, so let's have a little debate, shall we, for a Monday morning? I guess it could be afternoon or perhaps evening, depending on where you are. So, is it better to earn 80% commissions or 30% commissions? Now, I know most performance-based individuals will say 80%, man, because like they love getting paid on their performance. And if you're an entrepreneur, if you're in sales, if you're in direct selling, if you're in network marketing, you know, you want to get paid as much as you possibly can. And it's kind of a trick question. Now, on the surface, earning 80% commissions sounds a lot better than earning 30% commissions. And I'm using those as a number. It could be, I mean, I've seen programs where it's 100% commission, which how do you do that, right? How does a company stay in business? I mean, I won't even get into that. Or we could say, would you rather see the total payout of your company be we pay out 25%? I'm just throwing out some different numbers. We pay out 25% of all revenue to the field versus a company that says we pay out 75% of all commissions, or all the money that comes in, 75% goes out to the field. Now, here's why it's a trick question, because most people are going to say, well, I want to make, oh yeah, I'm going to choose the company that pays out 80% versus the company that pays out 30%. And, on the surface, that sounds great, but that's very short-term thinking. It's like, okay, what can I get here? Now, if a company could pay out 80% and still be profitable, still have enough margin where they can keep the lights on and they can pay their employees and all of the expenses that are incurred in running a direct selling company, that company can be profitable, paying out that much money to the field, then okay, I get that. But the reality is, choosing the company that on the front end or on the surface says we pay out the highest amount of money may actually not be the greatest thing, because they may not be profitable. And that's why I'm saying it's kind of a trick question, because for me, because I'm a long-term, long game thinker. Not like, okay, cool, I can make a whole bunch of money up front. I don't think most people are into, okay, let me just see how much I can get week 1, week 2. It's more like, okay, if you're going to take part of your life, you're going to take a percentage of your life and devote it to a project to build this thing up that, and put hundreds or thousands or tens of thousands of people in a sales organization. When you build it and you now have, let's say, 5,000, 10,000 people on your team that are all moving goods and services through that distribution network, I would think that you probably want to continue to get paid on that for as long as that lasts, as long as those people are purchasing and moving whatever it is that you're selling. But if the company cannot maintain profitability, we have to look at it differently. So I'd rather look at a company and go, okay, wait, these guys pay out. Let's use a different number for a second. For every dollar that comes in, 40 cents gets paid out to the field. The 60 cents on every dollar is used for, cost of goods, purchasing inventory, attorney's fees, tech, IT fees, office space, keeping the electricity on, warehouse, shipping, all customer service, all the things. I'm not going to sit here and list all of them, but there's a bunch of them. If they can maintain, not break even, but if they can maintain a degree of profit, then that would make sense. But if and I've seen this happen so many times, if they're like, money's coming in and the money's going out just as fast as it's going in, and they're just treading water as a company, then it wouldn't make sense for them to be paying out that percentage of money back to the field, because the companies have to be profitable. I want you guys to be thinking long term. Like, you want your company to be in business until there is no end date. Not like, okay, we're here, and then all of a sudden the company, gets into trouble, or some supply chain issue happens, or some ingredient now costs more, and so they're costs on manufacturing or acquiring the product or the packaging within the product increases, and then it turns the company into what was minimally profitable into break even or losing money. That's a losing proposition. So again, I've talked a lot about this for the last couple of weeks on different lives that I've done where, you know, if I'm when it comes to the analysis of a company that you're going to pursue, the comp plan is like not high on the list. It really isn't. It's ownership, who's running the show, who are the people operating this entity that I'm involved in? Do they know what they're doing? Do they have good, solid business experience in running companies? Because I've seen really good people, like I've seen great, incredibly fantastic field people that have made millions go run a company, and they're not so good at doing the corporate thing. Some are, but some are not. I saw one of the most successful, I won't even talk about the product category because it'd probably give it away. Most successful companies over the last 15 years go, I mean, out of business because they were running at a negative. They were running in the red. They were not profitable. And ultimately that caught up to them. And I mean, they were running events with like 15, 20, 25, 30,000 people in stadiums and auditoriums around the world with reps coming to they're running some of the biggest events I've ever seen in the direct selling space. And they're no longer a company. And they're no longer a company because they were not profitable. So instead of us thinking, oh, I want to just see how much money I can make and my team can make, I want the company to be making money. And I would hope that you would be thinking the same way, that look, they got deep pockets and they're adding to what's in their already deep pockets. So they've got money to, take this company into the future. If God forbid some thing occurs, and something always occurs. There's always something that occurs. I mean, some of you guys in your personal life, think about this for a second. You're like, okay, running on empty and month to month and, on credit cards, and then some big expense, you get a hole in your roof, or your one car that you need breaks down and it's going to cost you $8,000 to get it fixed. I mean, whoa, okay, what are we going to do now? My credit cards are limited. They're maxed out. And now I've got this other bill. I can't even put on a credit card. I need the car. I mean, you'd want to be in a situation you're like, okay, this sucks, but I'll just, I got the $8,000. We need to get the car fixed. Let's get it fixed. Because you've kept your expenses low and your income high. Because again, it's never what you make, it's what you keep, corporately or personally. So again, I'm not going to go. I got to Zoom here in about 11 minutes. So I'm going to hop on that here in a second, but I just want to talk about this. It was on my mind this morning, and actually it was on my mind over the weekend, but I didn't feel like on Mother's Day doing a live. So I've saved it for this morning. So yeah, kind of a trick question. I'm sure like on the surface, people are going to say 80%. Okay. Well, what if the 80% causes your company to be out of business in 6 months or 3 years? I mean, I think it would be worse in 3 years because you spent 3 years of your life building it, built a huge team, and then the company, has to close their doors because they weren't profitable. I just saw it happen in town honestly, like it was a shock. We have a restaurant in town that they open up at 4:00 in the afternoon. I mean, by 4:30, the whole restaurant is full. I mean, it's always busy in there. And last Monday, they just shut it down. Now, I don't know exactly why they shut it down, but you would look at it and go, wow. I mean, I think there was a divorce involved or something like that, but you want your company to be very profitable. And so instead of being selfish and be like, okay, I gotta have the company that's got the highest percentage payout, that may actually be detrimental long-term, because that company at that level is either minimally profitable or not profitable at all. And then when something happens, like an engine breaks down, and in a personal example, they're in a world of hurt, which ultimately makes them to have to puts them in a position to have to make some kind of decision that might end the show for you. So those are my Monday thoughts for the morning. I hope you guys are having a beautiful day. Hope you had a great weekend. All the moms out there, hope you had an incredible Mother's Day. I most certainly did. Had a great family day. Went to church in the morning, went and had a little dessert in the afternoon, made some paninis last night. It was a great day. I know Carla enjoyed herself. So happy post Mother's Day for all you amazing moms out there. And I'll see you on a future live. We'll see you.